Hello, welcome to the Redmen TV. Liverpool just drawn 1-1 with Man City and I'm wrecked. Absolutely wrecked. What an exhausting game of football in the best possible sense. Well, no, the second best possible sense, because the best possible sense would have been to snatch it when Roberto Firmino hands the game on a plate to Adam Lallana. And instead of scoring, he decides to completely fluff his lines. Bonkers game of football, absolutely bonkers. I mean, you look at the first half, it was one of the most exciting games of football that had no goals in it. I thought Liverpool at times looked like we were being penned back, and it looked like, oh my God, this is going to be the game for the first time certainly in a while where Man City are going to come out on top. And then other times we grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck. We really took it to them. We caused them problems. And I think if you base it on the stats, I think, obviously Man City are going to come away with the possession and what have you. And we had, I think we probably had, I just think there was probably equal, I think hairy moments for both defences. And, you've got Sergio Aguero falling over inside the box. You've got James Milner putting last-ditch slides in as the ball flashes past Raheem Sterling and what have you. But again, you've got Adam Lallana missing essentially an open goal. Roberto Firmino had a couple of chances. I think Caballero probably made the better saves out of the two goalkeepers. Genuinely mad game of football. And I think if either side had won it, you'd go, yeah, fair play, because look at what they created, look at what they did. They really stepped up and they took the chances, but neither side did, and that's why I'm not gutted, because the fact that we're a goal to the good and we don't win it is always a point of disappointment, absolutely, and it's got to be. But I think you look at how amazing Sergio Aguero was in that second half, how great David Silva was, that ball in from Kevin De Bruyne for the goal as well, and you kind of have to hold your hands up and go, that's an amazing team we've come up against there, particularly in an attacking sense. And I think both teams will probably walk away. You can see Klopp and Guardiola smiling at full time. I think they both know either team could have quite easily won that, and actually probably could have won it by a couple of goals as well. All things being equal on a different day and what have you. But I'm buzzing with that, and I'll tell you why. Because look, if you go and look at the league table now, you start to look at once again, we're looking at the games in hand that the other teams have gotten, the points on the board, and things are not quite as safe as, look, we all love Liverpool. I think every one of us wants someone to go, you've got top four, relax, and you can enjoy the rest of the season. It's not how football works, unfortunately. And we were talking about this as the team. Liverpool need to be down for the fight. We need to be down for a scrap for top four. And I think on the evidence of that, and you can say, look, we played really well against the top teams generally this season. I think we've evidence that we're ready for the fight and we're totally up for it. And the last 9 games of the season are going to be fascinating to watch. I look at the performances of Emre Can, number one. There's a guy who's been so maligned for months and months and months. He's not had a great season. You could argue that he's gone backwards as a footballer since this time last year. I thought he put in a phenomenal shift for the Reds. One or two little rough edges to his game, but to be expected. I think you could, if you wanted to look at the rough edges of players in that game, look at Man City's players, look at how many times their players completely gave away the ball under a little bit of pressure, and compare that to Emre Can. I thought he was outstanding in the midfield. Alongside as well, Gini Wijnaldum, for me, he was my man of the match if I had to give one, and I think there's a few players up for it. I know Mane got it on the television coverage in the UK, which I don't fully agree with, if I'm perfectly honest. I thought he was good. He was a constant threat. But Gini Wijnaldum, the amount of times that it looked like we'd be in a spot of bother, and he just used his body weight, he shifted it, and he turned us out of trouble, and he got things going again. I thought he was absolutely magnificent in the middle. Lallana was great. Thought he hassled. He did what Lallana does. If he sticks that ball away like he should, and I said we were watching it 100 times, give that to a Lallana, I don't know, 100 times, and he scores it 100 times, there's not even a doubt in your mind. So he'll be absolutely mortified, and he should be, and I think any one of us would have nightmares over that one. So you can't, I tend to shrug off those things because they're freakish moments. That's not because he's shit at football. He's really good at football. Even the best players make mistakes. It's annoying that he's not done enough to win it. But again, on the balance of things, Sergio Aguero falling over, you could say, God, he should be putting that away, etc., etc. So, some tip-top performances, a couple of hairy moments. I thought Milner handled things quite well, handled Sterling quite well. Maybe should have got over to De Bruyne a bit quicker for the cross, but for me anyway, I feel it's nitpicking to look at the faults of Liverpool players on the day. I thoroughly enjoyed when we were good. We were very, very good in that game. And considering that Firmino's meant to have been carrying a knock, he's only just coming back. But Divock Origi, came on and he ran. He put himself about a little bit. We caused them problems, and that's the thing. The biggest positive for me is you don't. Seasons are not, unfortunately, are not defined by the way you're performing against the top teams. And we've done the best. You should, realistically, if you told me how many points we were going to get against all of our top 6 rivals or whatever, and you told us they're the results we're going to get, you'd have taken them all day long. And it's disappointing to not go again, not to get 3 more points because we've been so good against these teams. But at the end of the day, look at what all the top teams do. You get a draw against your rivals away from home and you beat them at home, then that, you know, if you take 4 points from each of your rivals, you've had a magnificent season there. The biggest challenge for Liverpool lies in the remaining 9 games now. Week off, Merseyside derby, we've got to get ourselves pumped up for. We've got to slap them back into their place, and then we've got to go and pick ourselves up again and again and again and go and beat the teams that we're supposed to be beating because we want top 4. It's there for us. We've just got to bite, we've got to fight, and we've got to scrap every single inch of the way because these players want to be playing in Europe next season. They want to play in the top competition, arguably in world football. It's up to them to be the best they can possibly be. And my God, based on that performance, I'm totally all in. I believe they can do it. So come on, Reds, leave your thoughts on the match in the comments below. Subscribe to the Redmen TV by clicking there. And stay tuned for more amazing post-match content.